All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are back. Just finished the first stream, roughly, 30, 40 minutes ago, and we're back with another one. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the... Let me just double check that the stream's actually up and running first. Hold on just a second. I want to make sure that the stream's actually up and running because it's happened before I've started streaming. It's not actually started. Yep, looks like we're all good. Let me just chuck the thumbnail on this bad boy. Bang. There we go. Huge. Fantastic. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Back Four. I was about to say Back Four podcast. I'm not that anymore. I'm just the Back Four. Welcome back. Another World Cup game. More World Cup coverage. I actually have to move across now, which is weird. I'm not used to being on this side, but this is where the new overlay has put me. Oh my goodness. It feels strange. It feels weird. Should I pull the table more across to this side, I guess? I don't know. Pull it more across like that? I might have to. There we go. I mean... Am I too far across now? I actually have to figure this out in terms of the spacing because I'm not used to being on this side. I'm used to sort of being like more on the left-hand side. But we're here, ladies and gentlemen. The game between Iraq and Norway... I'm way too far across now. Hold on. Let me just try and find the sweet spot where I can sort of just like set myself up. I think here should be good. I think here should be fine. My stream's about like 10 seconds behind, so I just have to wait for it to... Yeah, this looks fine. Well, we'll just go with this for now. Ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed the first stream of the day, obviously, between France and Senegal. I thought it was a fantastic game, especially the second half was phenomenal. But now we have something super special, which is a brand new World Cup overlay, a World Cup specific overlay. I want to give a huge thank you to Dan. Lots of you guys would have seen him in and around the sort of channel, the podcast, the comments, stuff like that. So thank you to Dan for helping me to... Well, I say helping me. He did it entirely on his own. Thank you so much for getting me this brand new overlay for the World Cup. And it looks so much nicer. There's not as much like just random shit posted around the screen, which means I can honestly like look at getting more stuff put in the background here to make the background look a little nicer. So he's given me that opportunity with a really nice sort of overlay he made. And how sick. Look, we've got... It's this side and everything. We got the flags. We got the full lineup graphics. We still got the live watch-along stuff along the bottom. The link trees there. The sub counters now in the top corner there. And we've got, of course, the scores up there as well. So all very nice. I'm very happy with everything here. So thank you so much to Dan for the hard work. And even better, and something I'm more happy about, is that I got some peanut butter on toast for my brekkie ready for this game here. We got the Norway national anthem here. Now, I will just get into the sort of predictions that I have for this game. I do like to sort of give like a little bit of a prediction before I go in. I think Norway's going to win this, obviously. But I think it won't be as much of a thrashing as people are expecting. Obviously, it could be, but Iraq are very disciplined in sort of their defensive setup. They do have some decent players on the counter-attack, the likes of Al-Hamadi and Ali Yassim. Two very good players, two very good attackers in particular that I think could do well. But I think Norway should hopefully, I say should hopefully, I want them to get through over France personally, but I think it's going to be tough for France to not finish in the top two, given that they just beat Senegal quite comfortably. At least in terms of their second half performance, it was quite comfortable. Still waiting for it to be daytime so we get this natural light through. So apologies for all the shadows and stuff that you're seeing on stream. It will be sorted out relatively soon, I think. Maybe hopefully within about an hour. It's just about to tick over to 6 a.m. over here. And of course, kickoff is 6 a.m. So we will get that all sorted in 3 minutes time when we do get kickoff for this game. But I am very, very excited for that. I'm going to take the first bite of this peanut butter toast because it is calling my name. That's good shit, man. Costco peanut butter just never fails, man. Honestly. It just never fails. This is going to be awful commentary until I finish this toast, lads. I can't lie. This stuff is too good. Alrighty. The Iraq lineup: Hassan in goal, Doski at left back, Hashim and Tassin as the centre backs, Hussein Ali at right back. Left mid is Ali Yassim, Zaid Ismail, and Amir Al Amari make up the double pivot with Bayash at right wing, and the front two are Al Hamadi and Ayman Hussein. So some very good players there. Some decent talent to come. Off the bench. I think the biggest one there is Zidane Iqbal. In terms of the Norway lineup, Nyland in goal. Left back is Moller Wolf. Hegem and Ayer make up the back two. Julian Ryerson, the right back. Frederick Alsnes, Sander Berger, and Martin Odegaard, the captain, make up the midfield three. And the front three, one that I'm very excited about, Antonio Nusa, a player to look out for, I think, in this tournament. Erling Haaland, of course, and Alexander Sorloth on the right wing to start by the looks of it. This should be a very good game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very hopeful that we're going to get some good contest out of these two teams. So hopefully that all comes to pass. We're very, very close to kickoff here. Okay, let's get into everything here. We've got 5 people in the stream already coming to watch, so thank you very much to everyone who's turned by in the stream here. We're ready to get started in this game. I love the font on the back of the Norway kits. The font on the back of the kits is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, just waiting for that kickoff sound. There we go. Here we go. Alrighty. So we are underway with the second game of Group I action at the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It is Iraq taking on Norway. Hopefully a good game here. I'm hoping for a decent sort of performance from Iraq here. I don't think that they will be getting out of the group, unfortunately, but a good performance would go a long way to assist with the positive profiling of Australian football, of Asian football, which, of course, has had a really good tournament here. They actually looked for a ball over the top early and nearly find it, actually. Good claim there from Nyland in goal. So in terms of the setup here, in terms of the game, not here, but in terms of the game, I think we can all expect that Iraq will be approaching this more defensively. I think anyone who knows a Graham Arnold side knows how Iraq will play here. And we're seeing the evidence of that early on, just big, long clearances and balls over the top. Hopeful balls in behind, praying that your attackers can get on the end of it. And it didn't really work with the Socceroos towards the back end of his tenure, but it has worked wonders for Iraq so far as an underdog side. So hopefully for Iraq, it works in this case, but Norway will be hoping that they open the floodgates early on and force Iraq to actually chase the game. Norway do need to get some good goal difference here. I think that this group could come down to goal difference based on the Norway versus France result. Obviously, we will have to see how that one goes. Antonio Nusa on the ball. Good long ball up to Haaland. Nearly gets him behind there. Ball settled into the hands of the keeper. Antonio Nusa is a player that I'm really, really looking forward to seeing at the World Cup this year. He's someone that I specifically have been calling out, saying that I think he could be one of the breakout stars of the tournament. I put him alongside Jeremy Doku in terms of two players that I expected big things from. Unfortunately for Doku, we didn't really get a lot in his first game against a very compact a very compact side that they played. And unfortunately for another player who I really thought or expected big things from, Ryan Cherky, he got maybe about 10 minutes off the bench for France tonight. So didn't really have time to stamp his impact. But Antonio Nusa has been someone that I've been very, not surprised with, but very impressed with, should I say, in terms of what I expected out of him towards the start of last season and what actually he gave in terms of output. He's been phenomenal for Norway. I witnessed that firsthand when they demolished Italy 2 times in the World Cup qualifying campaign. In terms of Alexander Sorloth, though, I am interested to see what we get him doing down his right hand side, because obviously you could get a more mobile right winger there. You have options like Oscar Bob off the bench, especially, who you look at and say, okay, well, that probably aligns with what we'd be looking to get more out of our wingers. But having the extra big man does help. Norway are very strong from set pieces, very strong from crosses, and Sorloth's not exactly slow. So, it does work. It's just an interesting sort of profile for him to be playing when he is normally a number 9 for Atletico. Iraq, a deep free kick. Floated in, whipped in. They win the first header. They're looking to knock it down here. They actually managed to win that little game of head tennis and eventually head it over the bar. Sorloth takes it down really nicely. Gives it back to Odegaard, the captain. You're going to move it around here, Norway. You expect them to have majority of the possession today. And it's looking like that early on anyway. Ryerson with the ball over the top. Can Sorloth get there? Fortunately for him, he gives away the foul. A bit poor from him there. That's 2 fouls that he's given away already. Iraq baiting for fouls early on as well. This is going to frustrate Norway. The Norway coach is pissed already. To be fair, it is frustrating when you have teams like Iraq that don't really come to play football per se. They just sort of like sit deep, pump the ball along, and bait fouls for 90 minutes. But it works for them. You can't knock it too much because it does work for them. Ball up the pitch here. Good flick on header from Sorloth. Haaland in behind, wins the header there. He's got a chance that he can create in behind here. What can he do? Gets down the byline, pulls it back. Sorloth is there. I don't think it was Sorloth there, actually. I think it was Alsnes who was getting in the box. Haaland does nicely to pull it back, but just doesn't get to the man. That was a potential opportunity there. That was a potential opportunity for Norway early on. Yeah, that burst of pace in behind was really nice. The knock-on from the header was what was really impressive. I will say, out of all the strikers in world football, I genuinely think Erling Haaland's best attribute, and something that he is better at than every other striker in world football, is his awareness. His situational awareness is fantastic. Technically, he's not the best. Like, in terms of his technical ability, he's not the best, but his brain is his brain is wired to be a striker. Like, it's genuinely phenomenal. Graham Arnold barking instructions from the sidelines. Long ball there. Throw in taken from Ali Yassim. Ball into the box. Norway look to clear. Algeria just boots it as far as he can get it. Lots of physical presence, especially in this Norway back line. Rierson's quite tall, but then you've got the man mountains at the back. You got Hegem and Christopher Ayer, to use his full name, but lots of tall physical presence. You sort of have Wolf, who's not that tall compared to the other three, but you don't really sort of get the feeling that Iraq are gonna get many chances from aerial contests today. Unfortunately for them, of course. But I don't think that'd be Iraq's game plan anyway. It has been something that Graham Arnold has used in the past as Socceroos coach. We saw that numerous times through the use of strikers like Mitchell Duke, John Iredale, Cassini Yengi. That real importance of being able to sort of, you know, win headers and utilize like having a target forward. It is something that I don't think Iraq are really set up for that well, with the fact that they don't really have those tall physical presences at striker, though they make it work. And I guess we're going to see that on full display here at the World Cup in terms of how they can match up to what are three very, very impressive backlines. Obviously, Norway's isn't as high profile, but the likes of Ayer and Hegem, very, very tall and physical. You got Senegal, who we just saw with Niakate and Koulibaly, and then France, who we just saw with Upamecano and Saliba. There are some very, very good physical presences around the group in terms of centre backs. Iraq is really the only team that doesn't particularly possess that, which could be an issue for them potentially, especially when you're going up against attackers in the groups, the likes of Erling Haaland, Alexander Sorloth. And then you look at some of the physical presences that you can face in the other games. I know France don't really have many like dead set physical forwards, but then you look at the likes of Senegal, and Nicholas Jackson is one that comes to mind in terms of a player that they really wouldn't enjoy dealing with. So yeah, this is a group of death for Iraq. Let's not kid ourselves here, but I still think that we should be in for some decent performances from them in terms of some solid defensive structure and maybe the occasional attacking break. Switch over to the back post here. Ryerson takes it down. Looked like he was going to beat his man. Cops a bit of a high tackle there. No foul given. What's happened here? Nothing dangerous. Just a little step on the toe. I would say it never hurt anyone, although it absolutely does body hurt. It fucking kills. Yeah, Norway are going to have an opportunity here from a wide throw. No long throw taker by the looks of it. Ryerson just chucks it in. Odegaard bounces it back. Ryerson gives it back to Odegaard. Is he going to take it on his right or his left? Looks like he's going to go... He opts to try and go on his right here. He tried to force it back to his left, but it was very impressive of the Iraqi fullback just literally forcing him onto his weak foot there. Odegaard is someone who I haven't been overly impressed with as part of this Norwegian national team in recent years. In fact, I think he is in need of a good tournament if he really wants to recover some of that. I don't want to say lost PR, but maybe lost sort of opinion that people have of him. Because he is a great midfielder, don't get me wrong. Fantastic midfielder, great leadership qualities, but his performances for Norway just haven't been good. Chance for Iraq going forward. Al Hamadi, shot! He got there ahead of Hegem, I believe it was, but was that a deflection? Or has he just blazed that over the bar? I think he might have just blazed it. Yeah, he's blazed it straight over the bar there. Very impressive from him, though. Not necessarily a target striker, but doing the work that you'd expect. That little turn as the ball came to him to get past his man. Very impressive. Ryerson on the counter-attack, though. Tries to find an option through. A decent defensive cut there from Iraq. Ball back into the midfield here where Norway will take possession. Wolf does very well. It's out with Sunderberger. He's going to spread it out wide. Rierson's hugging that touchline. You can really tell he does want to see Odegaard operating in that position there. The way Norway use their front line is very interesting. Rierson essentially pushes up, and they create a back three with Sunderberger a lot of the time, dropping in as that extra man. And, with that, they're able to push Rierson up to where essentially a right mid would be, and it becomes pretty much something like a 3-5-2, allowing Sorloth to tuck inside with Haaland. So that is what they're going to look to do. They're going to look for plenty of crosses, plenty of aerial wins. Yeah, gives it inside. They're just going to tick it around nice and calm here, Norway. Which is surprising. You'd expect them to be more on the front foot, a bit more urgency in terms of trying to grab early goals here, especially since France did manage to beat Senegal by 2. But, maybe this is a sign that Norway are truly banking on themselves actually taking it to France and getting a win. Because they do seem happy to just take their time with possession here rather than actually try and force anything, which, to be fair, is a good strategy nonetheless. It's early on. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to be going full gun pelt and sort of, putting that pressure on yourselves to not only score at one end, but also to make sure you don't concede at the other. It is smart business practice, I guess, as you could say. Ball back to the goalkeeper here for Iraq. They're just going to take their time. Floated ball over the top, though, way too far. Way too far for Dosky. Norway looking again to play out the back here. Like I said earlier, just very slow pace right now. Just taking their time to create. There's a few jeers from the crowd, though. They're expecting Norway to want to go forward here, and I don't blame them. You're up against an Iraq side that are happy to just sit back. But in all fairness to Iraq, they're offering up a bit of space here. They're using about a bit of a 2/3 press here, which seems to be working quite well, though they do give away a foul in midfield. Chance going forward. Antonio Nusa. It's first chance for him to actually have a run. Does nicely. Manages to lay it off. Pass spread out wide. Ryerson. Bit of a dodgy touch. Does well to get the touch off of his man. This could be a corner, but it's very, very well done from Dosky there. Fantastically done to win that ball back there. Does well to actually hold off the man and then win the possession back as well. How old is Dosky? 26, but he does play in the Czech Republic, I believe. Chance going forward here for Norway, though. In possession. They try to spread it out to Noosa. There's a tackle, but the foul's not given. Chance for Iraq to hit on the counter, but there's just no pace there whatsoever. Erling Haaland, surprisingly, the one back doing the defensive work. We briefly had Erling Haaland at left back there. That's interesting. Ball forward for Iraq. Claims for a foul on Al-Hamadi, but nothing given. Chance for Antonio Noosa. He drives really well here. That's fantastic work. Opportunities in the box. Men arriving. Can't find the right ball, but it falls loose. It's going to be a corner ball for Norway. There's a good chance for them here. And look at all these tall Norway players you got packing the box here. This is the opportunity that you want. Sorloth, Haaland, Ayer, Hegem. Absolute giants in the box. Iraq doing what they can to hold these players back. There's definitely an opportunity here for Norway if they can get these runs and, more importantly, the delivery right. Ball in. Opportunity onto the head of Erling Haaland, but delivery just was a bit too far. He can only lean back and head it over, unfortunately. Norway now back in possession. Just over 20 minutes gone, so we'll only be 2 or 3 minutes away from the mid-half drinks break. Long ball from Nealon, but it goes all the way through to his opposite number. I say his opposite number. He is wearing the number 12. So not exactly an opposite number, but the opposite keeper, should we say. Ball into the middle. Good rise and header there from Ayer. Antonio Noosa does incredibly well there. Beautiful dribbling. And he wins a free kick there. He's been electric to start this game. You look at the quick feet there. And Elastico to get around his man. Dude, how did Haaland not do anything? Holy. To be fair, I actually think Haaland's not necessarily the one to watch in this game. I genuinely think Antonio Noosa is going to be the star of this Norway team. I truly believe that. He looked so good in World Cup qualifying, man. I remember watching him against Italy and just being pissed off about how good this kid was. I'd love to see him at Man City, personally. I'd love to see him at Man City. Julian Ryerson. Chance now for Ryerson to whip in from deep. Does so, floats it in, opportunity, headed! And it's through to the keeper. Sorloth didn't get the proper contact on it, unfortunately for him. Noosa is proper, though, as you say. I do think this match is going to end in a tie. I don't know why. I think it's definitely fair looking at how some of the looking at some of the other like sort of big team versus small team dynamics we've had in the World Cup so far. Like you look at Spain versus Cape Verde. Who would have watched that game and thought that like Spain would have dropped points? You know what I mean? And then you look at other games like Turkey versus Australia. Australia come away with a 2-0 win. You look at Switzerland versus Qatar, and Qatar come away with a point. You look at some of those big games and you say, how the hell are these teams coming away with results out of these games here? But I think that's the beauty of the World Cup is that you genuinely do get these kinds of results. And the thing is, it's not inconceivable to watch this game with an Iraq side that looked really, really good in Asian World Cup qualifying under Graham Arnold. One of the best defensive countries in Asia, going up against a Norway side that is primarily built around its very, very strong attack. It's not crazy to look at that and think, oh, Iraq might be able to get something out of here. I think it would just be interesting to see whether or not Norway opt to approach this more attacking in the first half rather than doing what France did, which is having a very slow first half and then picking it up in the second. I think Norway are going to want to pick it up in the first just a bit earlier because I genuinely think this group could come down to goal difference. I don't know if I can pick a winner out of Norway and France at the moment. France definitely have the upper edge. I will say that, but Norway have their qualities. Even in defense, they have their qualities. So it's a hard group to predict. It really is. But I think Norway would have seen that France would have won by 2 goals and would be thinking, okay, well, we really need to take advantage of Iraq and of Senegal as well, because if we don't start putting goals in, then obviously we're just not going to be favorites to win the group anymore. We're going to probably go through in second, which isn't awful. Like I said, it's not awful for them, but I think they'd definitely be wanting to finish top of the group to get the best possible draw possible in the round of 32. That's just my thoughts, at least. We're, of course, waiting for the end of the drinks break here. 3 minutes these things take, by the way. 3 minutes. My God. 3 minutes of ads. Gross. I think France is still going to top the group since their squad is packed. I just hope we don't fumble it against Paraguay. Also, why did you remove the calendar? Oh, just thought I'd try something new with the overlay, but I had a friend who made this one for me. And we both agree that it's probably best to take out stuff like, the calendar and all like the stuff at the bottom because it's too much, you know what I mean? Too much visual stimulus. Hashtag bring the calendar back. You know what? I'll ask if we can get the calendar back. I'll see if we can get the overlay fixed up to have the calendar. It's good though. Thank you. I appreciate that. I wish I was talented enough to make it, to be honest. rather than having to get my friends who are much better at graphic design to do this. And I'm the YouTuber. And I'm the YouTuber. I can't do graphic design, and I'm the YouTuber. Where would we even put the calendar, though? Where do we even put it? Do we put it like up next to the scoreboard or something? Like, where do we put the calendar? I do agree, though. I kind of miss it. I kind of miss the calendar. You know? He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong, the calendar. Chance now for Norway going forward. Antonio Nusa, he's got a runner on the left-hand side. Wolf. Ball in. Chance. Goal for Norway. 1-0. Erling Haaland. What a finish. Norway back in the World Cup for the first time since, I believe, 1998. And they've made good work of it. Antonio Nusa does well to carry. We've got a 6-7 on the screen. That's absolutely diabolical. Overlapping run from Wolfer. Ball played to him, and a beautiful ball into the box, to be fair. Erling Haaland was not going to miss from there. That is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate the love for the last overlay. I like it as well. The last overlay will probably come back. It just needs a few tweaks. But what a ball into the box here. Haaland with a phenomenal run, by the way. Wolf with a beautiful ball, like inch perfect pass. And Haaland arriving at the back post. Gorgeous goal there. Slight collision with the post, but fantastic start for Norway after the drinks break. And now, I get to fix the score for the first time with a new overlay. And Norway are the away side. I've got to remember that they're away side and not the home side. And that makes it 1-0. There we go. I forgot. Did I forget to? No, I started the timer. I thought I forgot to start the timer for a second because it's very faint. I couldn't see it. I'm surprised Sorloth is in the squad. Yeah, he's a quality striker, but he doesn't have done anything big since the start of 2026. And by the way, I think strikers going to Atletico Madrid are making the worst decision of their career. Look, I don't disagree with you at all. I don't think he's been good for his club sides since he has moved to Atleti. In fact, I think he probably needs to move away from Atletico, which I hope he does get. But it's that weird dynamic where Sorloth is one of those players that performs really well for the national team, but then crap for his club side. That's a beautiful ball forward. Haaland's got a chance to run at the defense here. What can he do? Cuts in on his left. He's got runners going. He's going to lay it off. Sorloth, the man mentioned, gets a chance. Can't shift it out of his feet, and it's a beautiful tackled block. Like I was saying, Sorloth is one of those players where he performs like crap for his club teams, but the moment you put a national team jersey on, he becomes like the reincarnation of, I don't even know, like Filippo Inzaghi or something like that. Which is funny because you also have players like Martin Odegaard who are really good for their club side, and then the moment they put on a national team jersey, they're absolute shit. Which I find hilarious because he's also the captain of both his club side and his national team side. So it's weird. It's weird. I think it's definitely a mental thing for a lot of players, but I'd be interested to know sort of like what the psychology behind it is, because there are some players that thrive from the kind of pressure of, you know, playing for their national team, and then some players that, you know, horrifically crumble. I also do think, though, it's because a lot of teams in and around Europe don't necessarily play the sort of compact low block style that you get in La Liga. Like, La Liga is very there's a lot of width, there's a lot of like sort of low block football to counteract the width that a lot of teams tend to attack with. And so I think that's the reason why you don't really see Sorloth having a lot of joy there, is because you don't really have a partner for him down the middle that's going to be able to take a lot of that pressure off of him. Whereas here, you've got Haaland, and when you've got Haaland there, who the hell's going to be looking at Sorloth, you know? So Sorloth has the ability to move around and find a bit more space, whereas at Atletico, he just doesn't have that. So it is an interesting question. It is an interesting sort of, thing. Or Karim, that's post shit from his club and national team. My God. But like that's another thing. It's like Hakan Chanaloglu, phenomenal player for Serie A. But I don't think I can recall the last time he had a good national team performance. Ball in from Norway here, potential for a goal, punched out, and a bicycle kick clearance. I believe a foul given away there as well. But yeah, there's so many players that like, I don't know, just they play for their national team and they're great, and then play for their club and they're crap, and then it is what it is. I guess I don't know. Now you've actually got me thinking. I'm trying to think of players that like are really good for their national team and then just really bad for their club teams. Sorloth Alvarez, the guy from Atalanta, I can't remember his name. I think they still have the chance to glow, but if they stay in Atletico, they're cruising. I think you're thinking of Lookman, Adamola Lookman, and I completely agree. Um, I do think that I don't think it's Atletico in particular. I don't even think it's like a La Liga issue in particular. I genuinely just think it's Simeone. It is 100% just Simeone. And the interesting thing is, right, Alvarez has such obvious quality, and he performs really, really well for Atletico. But it's like, you look at him and you just think, he could be doing so much more. You know what I mean? Like, could you imagine if you had Julian Alvarez as the striker at Barcelona instead of Ferran Torres or Lewandowski when he does play when he's not injured? Could you imagine that? Simeone ball is terrible. It's tiresome. It's tiresome to watch. But like, yeah, like you said, it's just Atleti is where you send an attacker to kill their career. Like, there's only a few cases that I can think of where it's actually worked out for the player to go to Atleti. Like, Griezmann was one. Julian Alvarez has been doing good, so I guess you could count that as one. But, like, realistically, when has Simeone ever had an attacker that's, like, profited from being coached underneath him? You know what I mean? Oh, Alvarez would be phenomenal in Italy. The only issue is that I don't think that there'd be any Italian teams that'd be able to afford him. But I completely agree with you. The thought of having someone like a Julian Alvarez at like a Napoli or something, I'm frothing at the mouth at the thought of it. Chance for Norway going forward. Sorloth gives it across. Opportunity. Shot from range. Drag wide. Really, really bad shot there from Odegaard. That was poor. Some good pressure, though, from Norway. Starting to win things with that high press. Erling Haaland doing well with the pressing as well. Sorloth, good shift to Odegaard, but he drags it so wide it barely even stayed in the 6-yard box before it went out. Arda Turan, Griezmann, Suarez, but that's it. Yeah, no, that's fair. God, Arda Turan's a shout, man. Arda Turan's a shout in terms of players that worked well under Simeone. I always thought he was a bit underrated at Barca. I always thought he did quite well, but he never really got the credit he deserved. But to be fair, it's hard to get credit as a midfielder when you're playing at the same club as Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, and Rakitic. You know what I mean? Like when you're competing with those four, and lots of the times you aren't getting minutes over those four, it's hard for people to sort of look at you and say, yeah, no, that guy's really good. Even though I think he was really good. And you're seeing some of the qualities he has with the teams he's coaching now. He does quite well as a coach. So, I don't know. It's one of those unfortunate cases where Arda Turan's someone who I really think should have gotten more props as a player, but just didn't because of the players that were sort of competing with him, which is a shame. But I also think I also think we've seen that in modern day with some players as well. Like a good example for me, right, is Kovacic. I think Mateo Kovacic is a fantastic midfielder, but everywhere he's gone, especially earlier in his career at Madrid, everywhere he's gone, he gets overshadowed. You look at Madrid; they had Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro. You look at when he was at Chelsea, he was more of a mainstay, but they still had guys like Kante that outshone him. And then you go to City, and you had the likes of De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, um, like all these Rodri, like all these incredibly talented players. Where it's just like, okay, yeah, Kovacic is good, but does he match up to these guys? But Kovacic is a fantastic midfielder. I'd argue Kovacic is, maybe in terms of the 2020s, maybe in the top like 20 or top 30 midfielders. Chance for Iraq going forward, crossing to the box, header. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Iraq have equalized. Oh man! Oh, that is a shocker. They've scored from a header. I think it was Al Hamadi who scored it. That is incredible. I was not expecting this. Oh my lord, much less a header. You're going up against Hegem and Ayer in the box, and you managed to score a header. How have you done this? How's this worked here? Doski's done really well, by the looks of it, to get forward. So Al Yassim does well. Yep, good run from Doski. Dink into the box, and he rises with that header. Fair play. They're not tight enough to him. They haven't been able to prevent him from getting up for it. And that is a beautifully powered header into the bottom right-hand corner. That is unreal. That is unreal. Iraq pull level against Norway. The first ever goal for Iraq in the history of the FIFA World Cup. That is unreal. And now Norway have it all to do again. Now Norway have to claw their way back. That is a big blow for Norway, man. That is a big blow. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Chance now going forward. Bro, I was saying, Iraq's big disadvantage in this group would have been the fact that they don't really have, like, massive forwards that can do hold-up play. Because you look at the centre-back parents that they're going up against. Norway, you've got Ayer and Hegem. France, you've got Upamecano and Saliba, or Kanate. And then Senegal, you have Niakate and Koulibaly. I was not expecting at all for them to be able to score anything from across this entire group. And they've only gone and done it in the first half of the first game. That's actually ridiculous, man. Oh, my lord. Asian football stays winning, boys. It is what it is. Norway are showing some urgency, though. Ryerson carrying it forward, drops it into Soloth. Back to Ryerson. Looking inside, he wants to find Odegaard, who's just not finding space at all. Lads, am I being too harsh on Odegaard? Because I think he's been shit. But I'm worried that I might be being too harsh on him. If I am, do let me know, because, maybe it's just the anti-Arsenal bias, but I think Odegaard's been terrible this game. Look at that match momentum. Reminds me of the... Oh, short pass at the back and Norway score again. Oh my goodness, that is an awful mistake for Iraq. A terribly underhit pass. Credit to Erling Haaland, by the way. I want to give Haaland his plaudits there. That is absolutely phenomenal frontline pressing. That is a phenomenal frontline press. He chased it down. The underhit pass came. Got the tackle in, and it's 2-1. Norway back in front. Let's have another look at this. Just a really underhit pass. To be honest, right? Hear me out. I'm not blaming the centre back for that. That's not an underhit pass. The keeper has to do better there, man. Come to the ball. Don't back away. Come to the ball. If the pass is slightly underhit like that one, if you wanted that across body, sure, that's fine. But if the pass is slightly underhit, you got to adjust. The keeper didn't adjust there. He lets it run. Waits way too late. And then Haaland gets to it. It's kicked onto the keeper, and the keeper kicks it back into Haaland. That's really poor there. That's really poor there for Hassan and goal for Iraq. And unfortunately, the joy of the Iraq equalizer is short-lived. Very much short-lived, the joy. No, Odegaard just sucks ass. No, like I am along those lines. I don't look. I'll be honest. It's hard to make the argument that a player sucks ass when they're the captain of their club team, their national team. They just won the Premier League. You know, they're a big part in bringing their team to the World Cup. I have not seen Odegaard put in a good performance for Norway in years. In years, man. Which is crazy because pretty much all of their attacking play through the midfield is supposed to be going through him, essentially. But what I also find interesting is that Norway's tactics have changed to essentially ignore Odegaard a lot of the time in build-up, which is crazy, right? Because they used to go through him to do everything, and that's why he had more of a central role. But now what you're starting to see is that in build-up a lot of the time, instead of Odegaard being down the center, he's actually off the right, and he's cutting in off of the right to try and receive a ball, which then allows Sorloth to go up next to Haaland rather than having to rely on Odegaard there. I find that very interesting because they've taken a lot of the pressure, maybe not a lot of the pressure, but a lot of the responsibility away from Odegaard in terms of creating, because I just don't think that the management are impressed with him. I don't know. I just get that feeling. I mean, sure, but I just hate on Odegaard. No, that's absolutely fair. That's absolutely... He does kind of piss me off, to be fair. He does kind of piss me off. But still, I will happily hate on any Arsenal player. I will let me make that known. I will happily hate on any Arsenal player I can. Which is why I'm praying so hard that England crash out of the World Cup this year. Because I'm seeing some absolute scrubs online saying that Declan Rice should win the Ballon d'Or. That he's even remotely close to Ballon d'Or shouts. Oh, give it a rest. Arsenal won one trophy this season. They won the Premier League, yes, sure. But you look at PSG, who won the domestic double. No, they didn't win the domestic double, sorry. They won the league title, and then on top of that, they won the Champions League. For one, right? I don't understand how you don't look at that. Secondly, Arsenal didn't even win the most trophies in England. Man City won a cup double. I'm not saying any Man City player should get the Ballon d'Or. I don't think they should, but you can't use trophies as an argument for why a player deserves to win the Ballon d'Or and then say, oh, but look at this trophy that this player won at Arsenal. You won one trophy, man. Give it a rest. Haaland won the treble with City. And didn't win the Ballon d'Or because Messi had a good World Cup campaign and won the World Cup. Like, are we kidding ourselves here? If Declan Rice even gets remotely close to deserving it, it would have to mean that England win the World Cup. And I don't think they do. I personally don't think England will win the World Cup. Controversial, I know, but still. Al-Hamidi, chance going forward. Ball back in the box! Oh, my God. Just couldn't get the shot off. Ball inside Dosky. That's a beautiful pass. Alamari back to Dosky. Dosky, good floated ball. Header. Backstick chance. Oh. There's claims for a handball. It's given us a corner. They're going to check this surely. Oh, that looks like a handball. That looks like a handball. Oh, okay. That is just a block. I thought that might have come off his backhand, but that's a fantastic block. Phenomenal block there from Mollowolf. Iraq. Chance for a ball into the box here. Whipped deep. Can they get a head on it? No, they can't. They do get a head on it, but they can't turn it towards goal, and it's going to be a goal kick. And there are rumors Arda is going there. If that happens, genuinely, I will my eyes. Arsenal. I really do hope Arda Güler leaves Real Madrid, but I really don't want him to go to Arsenal, man. They will ruin him. They will absolutely tank any sort of momentum he has in his career. But he does need to leave Madrid. I will say he needs to be getting a lot more minutes than he is currently getting. Where he would go though is a good question. I genuinely am not like I genuinely think he would work great at Man City if they didn't already have Cherky and Semenyo. But they already do, so there's no point in going for Güler as well. It's the same situation that he currently has at Madrid, where he's not going to be a starter. But where would be the best destination for him? That's a good question, honestly. I think he should come to Ghana. We're going to start seeing Arda Güler come to Besiktas edits very soon. I still remember when those things blew up. When those blew up, there's a... Oh, Iraq in behind! There's a chance here! Scuffs the shot! And it rolls across the box. Oh, my goodness. Iraq had another chance on the stroke of half-time. Al-Hamidi gets in behind. Beautiful ball. Scuffs the shot, but it just rolls and rolls and eventually just spins away from the post. That's heartbreaking. I think Nyland got a block on it, so... Last chance of the half. Ball in. Ali Yassim. Back stick. Headed back out, but still in Iraqi possession. Back into the box. Headed away. Oh my! I thought that was in. Oh my god, I thought that was in. The way it hit the back structure of the net and just stayed there. I thought he just rocketed that into the back of the net. Oh my god. What an end to the half. But oh my god, what a shot that was. If that went in, that would have been up there for goal of the tournament, surely. Holy shit. Okay, well. Wow. Okay, what a way to end the half. Dude, Besiktas fans are on another level of delusion. I will say, when those come to Besiktas and it started popping up around the internet, they were the funniest shit ever. They were the funniest shit. You would just see the most random fucking shit. You could go around the internet doing whatever, and all of a sudden it turns into a come to Besiktas edit, and that was so funny. That was so funny. I will say I do have a soft spot for Galatasaray, because you guys had a lot of players that came through your ranks that I was big fans of. Like Dries Mertens was one who I really, really used to like as a player. And oh man, when he went through Gala, I genuinely nearly considered starting to follow the Turkish league on a permanent basis just because Dries Mertens was at Galatasaray. But I didn't end up doing it, unfortunately. I follow it like here and there. But we have no streaming services for it in Australia, which sucks. So every time I want to watch it, I have to get an illegal stream. Sorry, a totally legitimate footballing stream that is totally legal and, definitely not immoral and, illegal. But yeah, like Dries Mertens was a player that I really, really, really used to like. Generational fumble, and dude, by the way, the club isn't even that rich. Not as rich as Gala or Fenerbahce. I'm surprised by that, really, because I know that Fenerbahce and Galatasaray are supposed to be the two big clubs, but Besiktas is always someone that I always like at least hear about being up there with the other two in terms of whether it's performance or whether just like size of the club. So it is interesting that it is interesting to hear that they're actually not that big financially. So yeah, I don't know. It is a bit strange, but I don't know much about Turkish football, so I can't really comment too much. The sun is finally starting to come up here. It's not up yet, but it is starting to come up. It's just about to hit 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, yeah, def legal. To be fair, I do enjoy Turkish football. I do enjoy Turkish football when I do watch it. It's just, yeah, I wish I could watch it more because it is really entertaining. It is really entertaining. Their president actually broke. I mean, we can get Osimhen, Kante, and also their president just buys the most random players ever. For me, it's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. for you, and you're up watching Norway versus Iraq. You know what? Fair play to you, Questy. I could never do this shit at 2 in the morning, bro. If I could do this shit every day at 2 in the morning, I'd be up streaming every single game of the World Cup. Like maybe it is early to get up and just sort of watch things and not stream, but like at the same time, my sleep schedule would be fried, absolutely fried. But to be fair, like I do it every, I do that every week. I just don't get up and stream it. You know what I mean? Like I'm always up at like 12 in the morning or 3 in the morning or like, stupid hours of the morning to watch like Premier League, Serie A, um, international football, stuff like that. So I am used to doing it like maybe once or twice a week, not every day, bro. And then streaming all of that. Like by the time the football finishes today and I've done all four of the streams, if I decide to do all four of the streams, of course, because I might just decide to sack the last one off, to be honest. But by the time it's done, I would have done nearly about 11 hours of streaming, considering I started at 3 a.m. and would end around 2 p.m. Holy shit. I know it's not exactly 11 hours of streaming because obviously I take like half-hour breaks in between the streams, but like still, it's nuts. So why are Besiktas broke? Is it just because the guy that owns them is broke, or is there like debt that they're trying to pay off or something? Like I am curious about that because they are, I'd say, one of the big three, surely, in Turkey. And then after that, you got your teams like Trabzonspor or Başakşehir. But like I always considered that top three to be Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Besiktas. Dude, I watched the Brazil Morocco match at 2 and then woke up at 7 a.m. to watch us get obliterated by Australia with 13 men. The 13th guy is Karim Mbappe. Oh my god. Oh my god. Um, dude, I think you should do it. The president is broke, and also they have depth from previous years. That is fair enough. That is fair enough. Like I was gonna say, like it's odd that you see big teams go into debt like as bad as that, but I don't really like I don't know much about the landscape of stuff like Turkish football. You know what I mean? As trust me, as much as I would love to know a lot more about Turkish football because I find it very very entertaining when I do watch it. I know fuck all about it. Ugh. And plus, their sponsors are not big since they had a big fall off. Really? Did they actually? I'm actually interested in seeing how they did in the Super League last season. Oh, they actually had a fall off. Oh, fair. Oh, so Trabzonspor are back up there. That's nice to see. That is nice to see. Oh shit! Antalyaspor got relegated. I actually didn't know that. I thought they were supposed to have a decent team. Fair play. Fair play. Yeah, but like I said, I always considered the big three to be, big teams like Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, Besiktas, and then like the teams under that were your teams like Trabzonspor, Başakşehir. Um, I don't really know a lot of the Turkish teams, but like even looking on here, like teams like Göztepe or Alanyaspor or teams like that. I consider to just be like that slight level below, or like Konyaspor or someone like that. I don't know. I don't really know. That's how sort of like as an outsider I viewed the landscape of Turkish football, but I obviously could be wrong. I mean, they buy okay players, but nothing big. For example, Fenerbahce bought Kante, for example, for around 25 million with wages, and we got Osimhen for 90 million with wages. Meanwhile, Besiktas bought uh, mean bought O for 7 million what the with wages. Trabzonspor generally buys wonder kids. Antalyaspor is a classic Anatolia team. Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot more sense then. Because I do remember like seeing Trabzonspor had like a very very young team at one point, and I thought that was because they might have just gone through financial. Okay. This is gonna sound weird. Whenever I see a young like a team that just like has shit tons of young players, right? I always just assume it's because they have financial problems and they can't buy experienced players, right? But I think we're starting to see less of that now because you have teams like Brighton, you have teams like Strasbourg, you have teams like Como, who are teams that have built success off of young players. Obviously, the likes of Strasbourg, they're part of Chelsea's group, so Chelsea just buys players to send to Strasbourg. But you know, it's still interesting how a lot of the teams now can get success off of young players. Like for example, Trabzonspor, if they do have a young squad, like you say, and looking through this now, they have a really good amount of young players in that squad. Um, yeah, they got Noah Saviolo there. I did not realize. Did he just sign for them, or was he on loan? I really don't know. I can't lie. I really don't know. Hyungu. Yeah, it's alright. I know who you're talking about. He was at shit. Where was he? Oh god. Um. Oh, which team was he at before he moved? Oh god. Nah, I lost it. I actually have to search this up because it's gonna piss me off now. It's gonna piss me off now. It's genuinely gonna piss me off if I don't know where he's from. Where were you before? Genk. That's it. Celtic and then Genk. Yeah. No, but he had a good season. I remember seeing some of his footage towards the last half of the season that he had with Fenerbahce with Besiktas, and he looks good. But I watched a bit of him when he was at Celtic, less so at Genk. But from what I saw when he was at Celtic, he actually looked quite good. Celtic do that really well as well, buying like sort of like budget players. No, they buy like wonder kids and sell them to Istanbul teams. That's their whole purpose. They grow players and sell them to Istanbul teams. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. They're a feeder club essentially. Oh man. Oh god. The thing I find interesting though is that I feel like any of those feeder clubs, if they all of a sudden got any better like sort of representation with like sponsors or some better finances or ownership or whatever, they genuinely could get to a point where they could climb up the league table and start challenging. Like the ability to buy wonder kids is a talent in itself. Not like for a financial aspect, but like scouting and stuff like that is very important. Dude, I'm shocked Iraq had so much attacking possession in this game. I hope it ends in a tie. I think there's genuinely a chance. I mean, they don't give themselves the best chance when their goalkeeper decides that he'd rather play a pass to Erling Haaland's, left testicle than he would to another Iraqi player. But it is what it is, I guess. Why is guys? I just why have I just seen why have I just seen an ad about the minions and Kylian Mbappe is in the ad with the minions, like the Despicable Me minions. What has happened to the game I love? This is why he could never be my Grand Emperor. I will never recognize Grand Emperor, Lord, King, Prime Minister Mbappe as my ruthless leader because what is he doing in an ad for the minions? It's World Cup time, bro. Get on the training pitch. I can't say that he scored a really nice goal today. He scored two really nice goals today, to be fair. I mean, for my team, they consider Lang as a wonder kid, so buying wonder kids is actually a talent in itself. Noah Lang. Oh, where do we even start with Noah Lang? Noah Lang is one of those players where I genuinely can't tell if he's overrated or underrated because I don't think he's overrated because there are so many people that call him shit, and rightfully so. I don't think he's that great. But is he underrated in the sense that people call him shit undeservedly sometimes? Maybe. I don't think he's underrated. I don't think he's overrated per se. I think he's rated well. I just think he causes a lot of divisive opinions. Like a lot of people like the kid and a lot of people don't like the kid. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's fantastic, but he's certainly got a fucking attitude. That's one thing. He's got the attitude of Ibrahimovic and the skills of fucking Enwakame. Like, it's ridiculous. Mbappe is the most random person ever. He just has a big ego. He does have a big ego, Noah Lang. He does. Mbappe is so random though. Mbappe is so random. Like you could genuinely tell me anything about Mbappe, and I wouldn't be surprised if it. You could tell me any lie you could about Mbappe, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out if it was true or not, or to find out it was true. Like that whole thing about Mbappe. Do you, Quisty? Were you on Twitter when there was that thing like 2 or 3 years ago? That meme going around that Mbappe missed a game, was missing. Mbappe got injured and he was missing some games, and then there was a rumor going around Twitter. I say a rumor, people that believed it was stupid, but it was more a meme going around Twitter that he suffered an anal injury from getting pegged from his transgender girlfriend. Like, that was when I just like I started to realize like wow, like football Twitter is fucking fried, bro. Like imagine you're a professional. I gotta start this shit for the second half. The timer. Imagine you're a professional footballer and you see that though. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you're a professional footballer and you see someone say like fucking that about you. Yeah, I remember that. There was the one that went around recently, um, towards the end of the season when Lamine Yamal got the pubic injury, and people just kept he kept getting pubic injuries or some shit. I remember there was another one which was like Liverpool. There was this hoax that Florian Wirtz. The reason. Oh man, this is a complicated one. I don't know if you've seen this one, but there was a meme that went around about halfway through the season, right? Of this Liverpool fan telling his mate who was also a Liverpool fan that the reason Florian Wirtz has been so bad at Liverpool is because he's on gender reassignment hormones, and the reason that Leverkusen was so willing to sell and that Man City pulled out of the deal is that is that they told him he couldn't get the hormone therapy, and so he went to Liverpool. And then the meme's just like Liverpool thought they'd take a risk because of star value, and they thought it'd be good potential PR with having a transgender footballer, but now the hormone therapy is starting to cause him to lose muscle, and he's cut his dick off. Like, oh fucking hell, dude! You should have Turkish Twitter. There used to be a kid called Birkin in our squad. Every game they called him a Oh man. Oh man. That said he was there was a delict one too that said he was becoming trans. I don't know why that's so funny to me. It's just like fucking hell, bro. Because it's funny to me because I know that someone would have had to have sat down and come up with that entire thing. Like someone would have had to sat down, thought up the entire joke, then have sat down, typed it to themselves, screenshotted it, then posted it, and then it blew up. Like the entire process, right? Of that meme having to go viral would have been just hilarious. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when that guy came up with that idea. I'll send you some Turkish Twitter classics after stream. Please do. I'm actually really interested to see now. This sounds hilarious. Oh man. Oh wow. I'm definitely going to stream the Argentina versus Algeria game, but whether or not I do Austria and Jordan just depends on whether or not I value my sleep. Which, to be fair, I normally don't, but I would like to stream as many games as possible of the World Cup. And also, my internet tends to get really bad later on in the day because people like get online and start using it more often. What games do we even have tomorrow? We've got Portugal versus DR Congo. That's a good one. England versus Croatia is a big one. Ghana versus Panama should be an interesting one. Uzbekistan versus Colombia, I genuinely feel like could be a pretty cool game to watch. I genuinely think that could be an interesting game to watch. Uzbekistan versus Colombia. I am hopeful that Uzbekistan can do well at the World Cup because they are a team that I enjoyed watching during qualifiers. Um, just whether or not that actually translates to actual World Cup football remains to be seen. But look, I can always hold out hope that teams I like do well. I just don't think they probably will most of the time, which is unfortunate because actually it's not that unfortunate. If every team I wanted to win won all the time, it'd be boring. I need to have some heartbreak. There we go. Thank you, Quisty. Uh, what the fuck am I looking at? What? Uh, uh, what the fuck? Bro, why the fuck? Why the fuck is there Kerem? Why the fuck is there Kerem Demir by fucking analog horror? What the fuck? That's actually made my skin crawl, bro. Holy fuck. What the fuck was I just looking at? Bro, it's too early for this shit. Oh, that video is made. Wait, that video was made because he missed one penalty. Oh my god. I'd hate to see what they make after like he'd score an own goal or some shit. Like, my god. To be fair, after seeing that, I really wouldn't be surprised if you saw someone like if they scored. Let's say for example, Mehdi Demiral scored an own goal in your next game. Do you think it'd be a genuine possibility that you'd see like what would you expect? Would you expect to see more stuff like that, or do you expect to see wild shit? Because the thought just popped into my head of like, so, I wonder if someone would. Okay, this is a bit of a weird thought. I genuinely wonder if someone would be sick enough in the head to like deep fake a footballer's face onto a fucking ISIS beheading video or something like that. You know what I mean? Not that they should, and I don't advocate for that at all. But like there are some sick people out there, bro. There are some genuinely mentally disturbed individuals. I've not been commenting on this half at all, by the way. I've been letting this pass me by so I can watch Kerem Demir by Analog Horror. Iraq have a ball forward opportunity here. Glanced header just went wide from Hussein. So unlucky for him. And also more wild shit. Oh god. I mean, they would probably make Islamic analog horror. Oh god. I can't believe I genuinely just had my fucking skin crawl because of Kerem Demir by Analog Horror. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? Sorry, I can't get the thought out of my head of Islamic analog horror and what that would look like. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it, to be completely honest with you. Alrighty, opportunity for Norway here from a set piece. Bit of a rough angle, but Ryson's good from deliveries from these wide areas. There is an opportunity to get a third. If I'm Norway, I'd want to end this goal with at least winning by 3. In this game, sorry. I'd want to at least win by 3 here. I think that's doable. Ryerson over the delivery. Whips it in. Very short delivery. That's very poor. Hooked back in, though. Hooked away. Is that going to be a corner or a throw in? It's actually going to be kept in by... No, I thought it was going to be kept in by Dosky. Sorloth does well to win the throw in. With a player like Ada, they would just turn him into a femboy. Not that they would do it, but... Brother, the amount of The amount of posts I've seen on Twitter since that game, just saying the same shit of Arda Güler looks like a malnourished lesbian. My God, the amount of fucking oh man. Ryerson out on the right hand side again. Looks inside. Nice 1-2 off of Odegaard. Ball into the box. Floated out the back. Antonio Nunes on it. What can he do? Is he going to attack the byline? He does. Ball back into the box. Good ball, to be fair. And it's going to go out for another corner. Well defended by Iraq, but Norway looking good once again. There's also Sizin Çokukla. That's proper Turkish Twitter. I sended you another mint vid on DM. Oh dear, I'm scared. All right, let's have a look. What? Oh God. Sijin chocolate means if your kid means it's your kids. We called them Bism chocolate, which means our kids. Ah, I see. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That's fucking hilarious. Oh man. That's good. That's good. Oh wow. It is cold, man. It is cold. Very cold. I know it's summer over in Europe right now, so I don't know if you guys are exactly feeling it as bad as we are in Australia, but it is freezing right now. Like, brother, I've got 2 pairs of pants on and a fucking a wool fucking lined jumper. That vid gets popular every time we lose a game. Dude, like that's oh man. Oh, that's fucking brilliant. Alrighty, some subs being made for Iraq here. All right, Ishmael off. Ali Al Hamadi off as well. Zidane Iqbal and Marco Faji being the 2 players coming on. I'm surprised they took off Al Hamadi as well, to be honest. I would have thought they would have kept him on. It's really hot in Turkey. I'm in a sweat pool. Hey. I will say, I do prefer the winter to the summer. I can't lie. If it didn't rain in winter, it'd be so clear. If it didn't rain in winter, winter would be so clear of summer. The only thing that keeps it remotely close is that I don't like the rain. And the cold sucks. But to be fair, the only reason the cold sucks for me now is because I'm sat in a cold garage with a fucking streaming setup before the sun's come out properly, recording matchday vlogs, recording live watchalongs. If I was sat inside like a normal person and like, slept in, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. When I went to Australia last year, I had the biggest culture shock. It was summer, so I thought I'd bring some shirts and shorts. And guess what happened next? By the way, we were in shorts once we landed, and it was mid-July. Oh, God. Australian weather is so bipolar. Australian weather is so unbelievably bipolar. Ball from Ryerson. Doesn't quite work out. Swarth going to chase. An hour gone in this game here. Still 2-1 to Norway. Pretty much nothing has happened in the second half so far. Ball forward. That's going to be an Iraqi throw. Yeah, like I said, the Australian weather is so bipolar. Like you can be in winter and have like a 30 degrees Celsius day, or you can be in summer and it's just pissing down with rain and it's 40 degrees. Like those are the worst days, by the way. When it's 40 degrees, humid, and pissing down with rain. It is the fucking worst. The worst. Because it's just like hot and just heaps of dew and it's sticky and it's just like, ugh, it's fucking gross, man. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Little flick on header there from Ali Yassim. What do you think about Melbourne? I've been to Melbourne twice, and both times I went, it was cold as shit. It was so fucking cold. I don't know what it is, but I went to Melbourne in the middle of winter, so obviously it'd be cold, right? But there was a day where it was like 27 degrees, and there was not a cloud in the sky, and the sun was shining. I had to wear 2 layers of pants and 3 layers of jumpers because of how cold it was. It was like, oh, oh, I feel gross thinking about how cold that was. My lord, it was probably the coldest I've ever been in my life, and it was on a 27-degree day in Melbourne. Ball to the back post, flick back, Iraq with a chance onto the roof of the net. There's another opportunity there. Not taken, unfortunately, for Iraq, but they're starting to get some chances together now. A little half chances. Norway have got to do something here. Norway have got to do something here. Poco! Welcome to the stream, bro. It's cold, man. It is cold. I'm freezing so bad right now. Dude, Iraq fumbled the chance before halftime. Tell me about it, man. Oh my god. How they didn't score that, I don't understand. It was a beautiful tackle from Molev Wolf, but to be fair, but like that was their chance, man. To be fair, Norway have looked awful this half. Chance now again for Iraq going forward. Opportunity. Is that still in? Played on for now. Ball's gone out. Goal kick. Alrighty, 3 substitutes here for Norway. And we're seeing a couple of good injections of pace. Is that going to happen now? No, they're going to wait. They're going to wait. Have a great day, King. I appreciate it so much, Pockle. I really do. You have a great day too, man. They got a goal there. It would have been more exciting. I agree. It would have been a lot more exciting. But I also think that they've done very well in this half to sort of chase the game. Norway are under a lot of pressure now. But to be fair to Norway, I think they're making the right subs at the right time. Oh, that's beautiful from Wolfer. He's got options forward. He's going to find Noosa. The ball's way too far for him. That's a poor ball. That's a poor ball. He's managed to win a corner, though, in all fairness to him. Bit of an injury right now for Norway. I think that's cramp. I don't know if I'd say that they deserve to win the game, but I definitely think they deserve to get something out of it. Whether that's a draw or whether that's a win, I don't really think is like I don't think it'd be unfair if they won this. I think they've performed fantastically. They've easily been the better team in the first 20 of the second half. Short ball from Rearson. Low and hard back into the box. I don't really know what he was trying there. That did not work out though. Dude, it's actually so hot. I came to my friend's house for AC, and their AC's fucking broken. Oh shit, that's actually a nightmare, bro. That actually sounds awful, though. I feel for your friend. Imagine the one good thing about your house being your AC and it fucking breaks. Nah, I'm just joking. That does sound like shit, though. You know what? I actually couldn't get my heater in here working, so we're in a similar boat. I tried to get my fucking heater working, and the heater in here doesn't work. Ooh. Yeah, that looks rough for Ali Yassim there. I'd assume maybe that's just a bit of a muscle pull in the neck. It's at least what it looks like. You know what? I'm tired of it being cold. Hold on. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And goddamn, I'm desperate. Yeah, summers are tough, man. That's why I prefer winter though. Like, I find it a lot easier to stay warm than I do to stay cool. You can always put on extra clothes, but you can't take off more clothes once you take off a certain amount. Otherwise, you get in trouble. I just realized I look like the biggest idiot right now. Winter is just cozy. True, true. Like, bro, let me stay at home wrapped up in a blanket in front of the heater rather than, me sweating my balls off half naked in my own house in front of a fucking barely working electric fan. Like, I know which one I'm taking. All right. It looks like 4 changes here for Norway. Is that slightly extreme? Is that warranted? I don't know. We're gonna have to find out. But there's also gonna be changes for Iraq, and I believe there's two. I think. I think there's only two. Alrighty. First of the subs for Norway, Antonio Nusa coming off for um whether or not he actually is remains to be seen. But potential pedophile, um, shoulder up. Also, Alsnest comes off, Sorloth comes off, and Molev Wolf comes off for Oscar Bob, Torsvet, and Ostergaard. So, I guess we'll see. Aiden, welcome to the stream, bro. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Dude, I'm still on the fact Bosna Tiklama found your really old photo from years ago. I want to know how they found that photo. You know what I mean? That photo would have had to have been from so long ago. I'm trying to remember where they even would have found it. Like they could have literally pulled any screenshot or anything from my recent videos. You know what I mean? But they specifically went for an older photo. I'm so confused. Alsnes was pure class last season for Benfica. Yeah, Alsnes is really good. I love Portuguese football, man. It's just half wonder kids and half washed ballers that couldn't make it in Europe in the top 5 leagues, and it produces just like some cracked football. Religion exam in an hour. You better have studied, bro. You better be studying. But I appreciate you dropping by the stream, Aiden. Allow me to extend my best wishes for the exam. Chance progressing here. Oscar Bob. Do love me a bit of Oscar Bob, to be fair. Probably got about 20 minutes or just under 20 minutes left in this game. Obviously, 3 minutes for the drinks break, but there have been a few injuries and stuff like that. So I'd say maybe about 5 minutes of added time as we stand. Remains to be seen how much we actually do get, though. Good to see you're confident there, Aiden. Good to see you confident. Chance. Bob, back. Shot. Blocked. Is that Norway's first shot of the half? It's only taken them half an hour. Ball going to be coming in here. Odegaard whips it in. And it's in! Norway with another goal, and it's a substitute, Ostergaard. He grabs one. Norway get 3. That was a beautifully whipped in ball, to be fair. Martin Odegaard, the supplier, but what a header from Ostergaard. Fantastic work. EP67. Oh my god. What a username. What a username that is. I cannot read that, but what a username. Can I have her? If you're referring to any young girls in my family, I don't have a daughter, and if you're referring to my mother, I suggest that you could also have my nutsack in your mouth. You could have both of my fucking testicles resting nicely on your fucking chin. That is an option. Whether or not you want to take that offer is up to you, mate. I got to change the fucking scoreboard now. Alrighty. Probably about. I'll message you later, Aiden. I'll message you later. For what the plan is for the World Cup live side game. I'm sorry to hear that about your mother, if that is true, Questy. My genuine condolences to you and your family, man. Yeah, back onto the game. Probably about, I'd say 17, 18 minutes to go. Norway have probably wrapped this one up, but question is now, can they push for more? If I were Norway, I'd be looking to get at least one more here. If they can get one or two, I think it's a very good result. Very, very good result. Obviously, the pressure is on them because of the impending game against France and then Senegal as well. If that France-Norway game does end in a draw, it'll come down to who can beat Senegal and Iraq by more. Chance now going forward for Iraq, though. It's well done there. Oh, all good, all good, Christy. All good, bro. I like the thinking, my man. That's good. I like the thinking. The first half was boring. The second half was really good. I'm not just saying that because there was 4 goals. I really, really enjoyed that second half personally. But I can understand why someone thought it was boring. I didn't even think the first half was boring. I just think it was underwhelming because of how much we expected France to do with that front line of theirs. Like when you have a front line of Doué, Elise, Dembele, and Mbappe, to produce what they did in the first half was just dog shit, man. All right, Erdegaard coming off here for Norway. Who is he being replaced by? It is going to be Patrick Berg. Okay. That Patrick Berg's jawline is outrageous, by the way. How funny would it be to have Israel, Lebanon, USA, and Iran and Israel? My God. Uh, yeah, true. I was just sleepy since last week. I haven't got proper sleep since Dance Plus World Cup. Honestly, that's been my thing as well. I haven't slept because of the World Cup. But that's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad all these games are on a free to air streaming service for in Australia because I can literally just go back after the World Cup is done and just rewatch some of these games and just see if like they're as good or as bad as I remember them being. Ball in from Ryerson and all the way through. Oh, loose giveaway chance. You've got to sweat that across there. That should have been another goal for Norway. Haaland should have sweated that across, personally, I reckon. How did your vid get taken down by FIFA? So when I was filming the matchday vlog, I was filming a lot of the content, as in just like filming like gameplay on the TV screen from the pub I was watching it at. And for some reason, FIFA deemed that sufficient to ban to copyright strike and block my video, which is great. I mean, look, do I understand why they did it? Yes. Do I think it's harsh? Also, yes. Like I personally on my phone recorded gameplay footage from a game that was taking place, right? But I am just thankful that I didn't lose the footage of the Iran Kunda or Metcalf goal, and I think that's primarily because of all the reactions and stuff around it. It's just like, you can't really, claim that that portion of the video isn't under fair use because it is. So still had enough to make a video out of it, thankfully, which was nice. I got a 67 on my RE exam. I fumbled a bit of my exams because of the matches. Oh my God. It's back up though. And that video was originally 28 minutes long. That video was originally 28 minutes long. And I had to edit it down to 14 minutes because that's all the footage that I could get through YouTube's copyright system without getting it taken down. So I lost half of my video to FIFA copyright. Make sure you focus up on your exams, Quisty, bro. I know the World Cup is great. We all love the World Cup. I love the World Cup, but exams are important, man. There'll be another World Cup. Don't worry. Oh, that should be a foul there, and it is a yellow card handed out. We haven't seen a lot of yellow cards in the first two games today, to be completely honest. Ooh, chance over the top there for Oscar Bob. Haaland lays it off. Doesn't quite work for Shelderup. Ball into the midfield here. Loose ball, though. Norway win it back, and they're going to restart with possession. Not long left. Honestly, I'm sad that Iraq couldn't get a draw out of this match. They had the potential, but Norway just has more squad depth plus Haaland. Yeah, definitely that. Also, look, Iraq had their chances, man. They didn't take them. That's the issue. When you don't create many chances because you play a defensive style and then you don't take the ones that you do get, you know, you're just asking for issues there. Ball forward over the top. Not bad, but Norway win it back easily. God, this game is so slow to end. I don't know why, but you look like an 1800 factory worker in Europe that lives on the streets collecting coins. It's because of the blank. Uh I genuinely just like I don't disagree. I think you're completely right, but at the same time, it's so fucking cold that I don't care. Oh man, it's so cold, bro. Shoulder up, attacking nicely here. Manages to get past his fullback just. Loose ball. Chance shot! Side netting. I actually thought that was in for a sec, but it's side netting from Torstvedt. Shelterup did really nicely to sort of run at his man here. Maybe did a little too much is the only thing. Got an Iraqi player down injured. It's only going to extend the time even more. Oh my god. Now, on a real, we got about 5 minutes left here. We had 6 minutes of added time overall. We've gone about a minute and a half through already. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting any more goals, which is unfortunate. But Norway have played a pretty decent. To be fair, they haven't been great. Iraq, however, have not taken their chances, and it's cost them in a big way. I love how we're in complete opposite ends right now. Like, I'm just begging for a bit of warmth, and you're begging for, your warmth to be taken away. Very good interception there. Unfortunately, possession lost again. Three goals to go. 3 minutes to go. Oh my lord, I'm tired. Anyways, dude, have a good stream. I'll try to join the next stream. Good night or good morning. Thank you so much for stopping by, Questy. I really do appreciate it, man. Honestly, I really do appreciate it. In terms of whether or not I'll do the next streams, I have to see how my internet holds up, to be completely honest, because once it starts getting past like 8 it's just about to tick over to 8 in the morning for me. Once it starts getting past 8 a.m., the internet gets a bit crap because, all my neighbors start waking up and then they're using the internet at the same time, and the internet here is not great. So I hope it holds up. If it does, we'll be able to get at least Argentina versus Algeria done before I reckon the internet might go out. But honestly, who knows? We'll have to see. But thank you so much for joining us and joining me for the stream. And hopefully see you in the next one. We'll definitely be back streaming tomorrow, though. That is a certainty that we'll be back streaming tomorrow. But yeah. Long ball here from Nyland. Looking for Erling Haaland, and Haaland actually manages to win a free kick here. So this will probably be the last attack of the game for either side, and it'll go the way of Norway. Opportunity here. This is what you want to be seeing. If you're a Norway fan, this is what you want to be seeing. Ryerson, what's he going to do? He actually is looking like he's going to go short here, and he does. He goes backwards. Okay, so maybe Norway don't particularly care about that last goal. They look for the long switch. Back post. Option inside to Haaland if he can find. Backstick. Haaland with the jump. Headed back across. And it's gone in. Is there a foul on the keeper? It's not given. Torsvet makes it 4-1 with the last kick of the game. Very good one there for Norway. Grabbing another goal just before the full-time whistle. That could potentially be big when it comes to the group stage goal difference. But a very, very good result nonetheless for Norway. Very, very well done. Very, very well done from Norway there. It was a bit iffy when Ryerson played it to the, played it short instead of whipping it in, but it's worked out. Ooh, is there a handball there for... Oh, yeah, you never know. And this should be the end of the game here. And it is. Final score, Iraq 1, Norway 4. Very impressive performance from the European side. Very well done. A 4-1 win. Sees them through. Match day 1, a very important result for them to get off to a good start. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for coverage of this game. I will hopefully see you all very soon back on the stream for the next World Cup games. And until the next stream, I'll catch you later.